Hallelujah! All my New South Empire LLC and wonderful and fantastic fun family of winners. That's right, it's your winner, Fitzhugh Sergio Phoebus Huff. Today I have some special guests that's very dear to my heart. These are my day one winners for life. And I can truly say that from the nucleus of my heart. Ain't nothing, ain't no bottoms over here. This from the nucleus, the core of my heart. These are my winners for life. We got Lemoi Desina, that's right, the poet extraordinaire, storytellers, promotion, production. This man, he got it going on. He has the cool spot. He's just such an intellectual person, man. I learned so much from this brother in the past 2 years of being affiliated with him, and looking forward to learning more from him. Next, we got FLB, the Logic. That's right, from Disabled Studios and Design Magazine. That's my winner for life also. Yo, we got a whole lot of projects going on together. We got the movie called Piffy Life. We're filming that now, and it's so good. It's so good how the transformation from negativity in the hood to positivity coming out of the hood and reaching out back to the hood. It's a dope movie. Y'all gonna be really impressed with it. We got some other projects coming up too that we can't speak about right now. But anyway, I invited these two intellects specifically for this topic. Specifically for this topic. As a matter of fact, Mr. Lemoi Desina brought it to my attention. And he had a show that did numbers because people are very interested in this and curious. And you know, we all three of us have a tendency to say what most won't say or can't say or think they can't say. Oh yeah, by the way, I did get permission from my pretty, praying, perfect, precious, priceless, preserved daughter to do this podcast. I had to get that out of the way because I don't do nothing without talking to her first. All right. So he came to me with this topic. You know, I had been listening to Jay-Z the latter part of my life since he came out. And I kept noticing he kept referencing Jehovah in some kind of way. Jehovah, Hove, and I had been noticing that, right? So I was like, what's the real significance of that? So I had speculated on it myself and got my own interpretation of what he was trying to do. But when this brother Lemoi came to me and showed me his research and a video presentation, I was like, what? No, that will most definitely be a topic on the Winners podcast. Matter of fact, I jumped in front of some people, so that's how important it was to me. And I feel that other people should at least hear it. You ain't got to make no decision. Ain't nobody trying to convert or, anybody. It's just about learning. You know what I'm saying? We can all learn from each other. So with that being said, I would like for Lemoi to go ahead and introduce exactly what he's trying to nail in the coffin with this topic. Go ahead, Lemoi.
All right. So can you guys hear me good? You guys
very good. Very good.
So yeah, so my name is Lemoi Desina. First off, I want to appreciate you, Sergio, and King Sean for putting this platform together and giving people a voice. And I'm also appreciative of our guest today too, FLB. I appreciate you, brother. I'm going to learn a lot about you today. I don't know you personally, learn a lot about you today, and I'm excited about that. You know what I'm saying? So either way it goes, this is information based. It's mental exercise for me. And we're just here to have fun. But again, my name is Lemoi Desina, and yeah, I'm the founder of the Cool Spot podcast. We talk about everything relevant. Y'all, check that out in your spare time. But my claim today, though, is based on Jay-Z's verse that he performed on DJ Khaled's God Did single, which led me to believe that he is an anti-theist. Right, we've all followed Jay-Z for a while, and I don't think it's clear as far as what he believes. So this is my alleged claim and my belief, right? Until we can prove it any further. But he is an anti-theist, meaning that he's totally against the concept of God, and he challenges the legitimacy of faith as a moral authority or a way of knowing. In fact, he believes that you have the power to solely create your own path without God, and we'll get into that. So what is it that I say that, you know, this whole claim thing about Jay-Z is this: his belief is based on the law of causality, this universal law, right? Or in its proper context, causal determinism, again, a universal law, which means that your output is based on the input that you put in. So you don't have to have a deity that you believe in to obtain the riches and successes of life, right? So, and I, you know, we agree to that to a degree. And so my job today is to defend my claim about Jay-Z's alleged belief and show the listeners how he has it all wrong, and how the Bible is our ultimate guide that helps us navigate through our time here on earth. So I would like to also ask my guest, before I, you know, yield my time, I would like to also ask the guest if he could also include what it is that he believes about God, you know, when it comes to the subject matter and about God, so I can gauge the conversation a little bit better. And I yield my time with that.
Can you repeat that? You went.
Yeah, I was curious to know what is it that you believe when it comes to the concept of God in the context that we're going to talk about today. That way I can kind of gauge the conversation a little bit better, because it originally about the presentation, but I don't know what you believe. So I want to kind of get an outline of that.
I believe in a higher source of energy. I believe in the Anunnakis. You know what I'm saying? I don't call it. I don't call it. See, everybody say God. I say Elohim. Elohim is life being. You feel what I'm saying? Elohim is a life. You feel me? So it's
Elohim,
like
that last part
that my inner self is that light being, that spirit. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when I run across these situations, I said, well, you tell me something that your God, your mystery God could do that I can't do. I could do everything he can do. You know what I'm saying? I am an image of him, but I am not him. You feel me? And when I say him, I mean that brighter light, that source of energy, because without that energy, we nothing. We gone. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. I don't say God, 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 but like pertaining to you with the Jay-Z thing, I look at it like this. His God might not be your God that you see as God, because your God is a good God. His God is demonic. You feel what I'm saying? You feel me?
I mean,
So,
you got to give me more context to that, though, for me to follow clearly. But I'm with you, though. I'm with you.
You know what I want to say? I want to say that it's like being the way he phrased it is sort of similar to the way Jay-Z phrases it. You agree, Lemoi?
Yeah, well, he believes
Yeah,
in causality, meaning that it's a law of cause and effect. So
right,
I don't need a supernatural being to help me obtain my riches and wealth. My
right.
overall through this whole thing is to show how God is also the creator of the universe, which also is the universal principles and the laws that Jay-Z applies to his life. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
But
So,
there's an intelligent design behind the design that he believes in, if that makes sense.
it
And that's
makes a lot of sense. I mean, because um, if you believe in the universe, who created the universe?
a good question.
Yeah, you
the,
know what I'm
the
saying?
universe, I feel like the universe was always here. It was the point, when did we get to the universe? The universe always been here, no matter what. We live in the essence. There's no beginning. There's no end. You feel what I'm
And
saying?
you
So
and
I
you
feel
know
like
what?
it's always, mankind might have not always been here, but this universe is always been here. That's how I feel like it's always been.
And I want to bring this point up too. If you ask the majority of the people what is the first scripture in the Bible, they'll say Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth,
Mm-hmm.
which is not true though.
Mm.
The very first scripture is John 1:1. In the
Yes.
beginning, there was God, there was a God, and God was with God.
Well, I think that was a reference to Genesis 1:1, though.
It was a reference, but the way it was phrased, okay, that it spoke specifically about God. That's it. Not
Mm-hmm.
not in the beginning, not nothing about creation. You hear what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Genesis speaks about in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So the emphasis is really on people take the emphasis being on the creation of earth instead of where John 1:1 puts the emphasis on God being the beginning.
So let me share this real quick. Let me share this real quick because I'm into a lot of different things like science. I'm into, studying nature. I'm into studying the universe and stuff too. And some information that I came across that I thought was really enlightening to me was that through science, they're now using quantum physics. Before, metaphysics was the thing, right?
Yeah.
So metaphysics was the thing, especially in our Black community and the woke community, right? Metaphysics has been a long-going and ongoing thing for years. But now science is transformed over where they've, switched over to quantum physics, which actually studies the gene of a thing, matter in itself, right? So the very first verse that you're talking about, though, Sergio, Genesis 1:1, tells us that God has created everything, including all matter and energy. This is the Christian belief, all matter and energy. This means that God can't be identical to the universe, nor can he be identical to any aspect of the universe. You see what I'm saying?
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Energy is a part of a created universe. So again, there has to be a creator that created the intelligent design, because I think intelligent design is the evidence of something greater. So had the universe been here forever? Possibly. But there had to be a beginning somewhere. And in that moment, what started the universe? So maybe Ethel, you can tell me and help me understand that if you can.
I wouldn't know what started the universe, but I'm looking at it like, we talking outside of this solar system?
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the solar
Just
system.
all things dealing with the universe as far as the universe in its entirety. Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't explain it. I just can't, but I just feel like it always been here until something happened and it formed the bubble that we live in. You know what I'm saying? It formed the bubble, the gases, the stardust, the particles, all of that formed, and in the planet, certain amount of planets formed formed the solar system.
Mm-hmm.
Outside all the hundreds and thousands of other planets that surrounds us. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay. Okay. You know what? I get where you're coming from, FLB, but I got a question. You said the universe been here. All right. Now, life form, human life form. Do you think that the universe created human life form, or what entity did?
I feel like the first life form came out of water. Came
Okay.
from,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? The first life form came from
So do you
sea.
believe act of randomness is what you're saying?
Huh?
There was an act of randomness that took place to create that first life form in water.
I'm not saying it was human. I'm just saying a life form, the first life form came from water.
Right. Was it random,
Water
or
to the land.
was it a creator behind that life form, or was that just random, like an act of randomness?
It could have been an act of randomness. It's a whole nother. It's like with me. Yeah, we could see the sky. We can see what's surrounding around us. That's the big mystery. It's in the sea. And I can remember a time some time back, and I still had the video. I was watching a time-lapse video that went back almost 1 billion years.
Oh, we losing you, bro. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
You watching time?
It showed when it was nothing here on this earth. It showed when it was cold. It showed when it was no trees, no nothing. It was no oxygen. That's when the first life came on the land. And being that it was no oxygen, it went back into the sea. Time passed again. You know what I'm saying? The trees started sprouting. And then they showed the cavemen and stuff like that. And up to the present day. You know what I'm saying? But I don't feel mankind can really measure how old this universe is. Man can't. I don't think so. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't think he can measure it. He could guess from maybe a stone, a rock, or something he might have found in the ground. He might count back from that. But as far as the beginning of the universe, no man could tell me when it began. He wasn't here.
Right. I agree with that. I don't think there's an actual stamp on the creation of the universe. I don't think, but there are ways that they could actually trace back based off of what is it called, black matter in the space. They can trace the movement of black matter, and because of the way that black matter moves, it moves in one direction. So if they go reverse that direction that black matter is moving in space, they could actually time it. You see what I'm saying? Which would give them an estimate, but they don't have an exact date, right?
Yeah.
So
I got a question though, and then I've been pondering on it, and I just grabbed my phone and I Googled it, and the answers were so like sporadic. I didn't get an answer from it. Okay. B said that he's seen some video footage of when there were nothing, when it was just ice on the earth, no oxygen. Who was holding that freaking camera and breathing to take that footage?
That ain't my question to answer, B.
They did a time lapse. Yeah, right.
No, for real. I'm just saying it sounds kind of ludicrous.
Right. I can say that. You're all right.
It's kind of ludicrous.
Yeah, well, it's a time, like, it's just an example. I don't think that was literal, like you know what I'm saying?
So it's fictional.
Yeah. So I mean, that was man's creation of reenactment of what
we back.
Believe.
All right, fictional.
It was, yeah. Well, it could be, yeah.
Well, it was. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
It was fictional. It was made up, mythological.
Mythological.
Hey,
yeah.
I could be the devil advocate right quick.
Okay. Yeah, do that.
The technology back then was more high advanced than what the technology is today.
I can believe that.
Drawings from the Egyptian drawings and all that, they show you the spaceships and all of that, and all of that. The technology they came down, taught them. The Egyptian Anunnakis came down and taught the Egyptians and all of that. You feel me? So their technology was way advanced than what it is today.
Yeah,
I can say that.
Yeah, all right, because they had direct contact with the aliens, so-called aliens, I mean, even the Bible says that, when Jesus Christ got to fight with Satan, the devil in the heavens, He didn't just kick Satan to the earth. You know, him and his angels jumped in, and you know what I'm saying. They kicked the demons down here too. So them people, them aliens that them people be seeing, I feel they real. I believe they demons. You know what I'm saying? On the earth and stuff. You know, Nephilims came down here, made giants. You know what I'm saying? You know, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's just to me, it's just like what I don't know, I just don't know. So I have to do research and study. You just can't
So
read the
then we
Bible.
gotta
You
leave
gotta
the
study.
Bible alone. So then we gotta leave the Bible alone and move into the book of Enoch. And then you'll find out about the Nephilims and the giants and
Yeah,
the
the book of,
you'll find out about all of that. You feel me?
in the book of Eli also. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So I got a quick F4. So what are your thoughts? Because you said that you believe that the creation process was possibly an act of randomness as far as mankind. When you gave the analogy of the water, you know, the first creation being out of water, and I asked you, did you believe it was an act of randomness? And you said it might have been an act of randomness, right? What are your thoughts on the idea of predestination?
Predestination.
Yeah.
Explain a little bit more. Predestination. Shaka. I can answer you correctly.
Okay.
Hey, can I intercede just for 1 second, Lemoi?
Yeah.
Okay. The way I see this is sort of similar to Darwinism, as far as the way FLB is trying to explain it, because the act of randomness if is leaving out the creation. Okay, so it's more of an evolution.
Right. Exactly.
Okay,
Yep.
so in order to get to that predestination, we need to find out, do FLB believe that they evolved in evolution? Is that your thoughts, B?
That's like how they trying to tell us that out of nowhere it was just a big boom. That was the act of randomness. If it was just the big bam boom, that wasn't planned.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what they,
you know. Yeah, that's what they say.
But and even in that, again, like Sergio was saying, because you gotta also acknowledge evolution in the process of the Big Bang Theory, like you referencing. So did we evolve, or were we created
Right.
by an intelligent being?
In order to answer the part about predestination.
Yeah, because in order to exist, we have to either have been created by a random source or whatever happened, like you said, a big soup in the waters. You know what I'm saying? Or we were created by an intelligent design. You know, so it has to be one or the other. But if we were from this whole boiling soup, then there was evolution that's also attached to that idea of the Big Bang Theory and active.
Amen.
So what are your thoughts with evolution?
That's where we came from. They try to tell us to man.
Like that. You in the Matrix, bro. You in the Matrix.
You chop it up. You chop it up, B.
I don't believe evolution that they no, I don't believe that.
Okay, so you don't believe in Darwinism. So that's off the table. That's off the table.
So he didn't believe what now? I didn't hear what he said.
He said he didn't believe in evolution. But if you believe in random,
I kind of believe that my ancestors are aliens.
You breaking up again, bro. We lost.
They went out. Damn, we lost them, man. But that's okay, y'all. I'm gonna hit them up and tell them to switch to I know they had that situation down there where they some terrorists blew up the transmitters and generators down there.
He logging back in.
Okay. I'm gonna tell them to switch to Mobile data.
Yeah, it's screen black.
Hey,
Hey,
hey, B, you there? B, can you hear me? I'm gonna tell him to switch to mobile data. But anyway, yeah. You was getting to the B. Can you hear us?
we can't hear you, bro. He cutting out again, he in and out.
Yeah. Okay. So you was leading that to predestination, Lemoi.
Yeah. I wanted to hear my points on predestination though.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
He trying to get back in, and he in and out.
Yeah, it's causing discussion. I just told him to switch to mobile data though.
Yeah, I wanted to catch the points that I want to point out because again,
Right.
you can think an act of randomness, but I feel like people that don't really consider anything outside of that mind frame, they miss the whole idea of predestination. You know what I'm saying? And
Right. It's impossible, really, to understand.
right.
To understand predestination.
Well, it's not impossible. You say impossible?
I feel like if you feel
Okay,
like
bro.
you, B, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay, all right. If it mess up like that again, switch to mobile data.
Okay, I'm not on Wi-Fi anyway. We don't got electricity down here. The whole
Oh
town
yeah,
is
that's
out.
right. I
The whole
did
county
mention
is
that.
out of electricity.
Oh wow, that's what's up, man. Okay. All right, go ahead and answer. Go ahead and ask him that question again, Lemoi.
No, about evolution. What was your thoughts about evolution again? You answered it, but you were real choppy. You were cutting out.
Oh, I said the evolution that they presented to us, how they was trying to tell us we came from ape to man. I don't believe that. I say the only resemblance that I see that I would say my ancestors is the aliens. We come from a higher source, a higher. To me, the aliens is what it is. Because you know what? Anything meaningful to us that I feel the government is going to keep from us.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? They're going to keep anything that's going to benefit us, help us, bring us to more enlightenment. They're going to keep it away from us. You know what I'm saying? They're going to make us believe it's not real, this. I believe in my alien friends. I see them. I see the spaceships at night, all of that. I got it on. I got some on camera, everything. You feel what I'm saying?
Are you into the select?
But
Okay.
yeah, I'm deep into the alien thing. Yeah, I am. You feel me?
Okay. So do you believe? So then, do you believe that when we die, we ascend into an alien ship and we like take off? I know
Nah,
some people don't know where you at with that.
it depends. It depends how you die. You die and
Okay.
stay where you at. The guys, you can return. Just depends how you die. My belief is if you die tragic death, it would take you longer to turn back to the universe, this earth, if you come back. If you die peacefully, like matter of fact, it was 84 years old in order to die peacefully.
Mm-hmm.
That's why so many people were so happy. So happy. You know what I'm saying? Because they got peace now. They truly have peace with all everything. They done completed their journey.
So based on how you
You know?
determine whether the celestial being to come get you and then you come back as something else is what you're saying? Like
Oh no.
reincarnated as something else? Is that what?
My spirit leaves. My spirit leaves. It might come back. It might not come back. I mean, like, I could go into like in the time I've been on this universe already.
And you cutting out bad.
I know how. I can't. I wouldn't know how true that significance would be. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's something that people does to tell you how many times you've been on the universe or been back to this. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, that's a different, because I'm not really well versed. So I'm not really into that, like as far as the celestials and you know, just like being reincarnated as something else coming back. You know what I mean? I know the spirit doesn't die.
Believe it or not, you reincarnated every day.
Every day.
You lay down and meditate. Every day you lay down, every night you lay down and meditate to what y'all call is sleep. You're not sleep. You don't sleep until you die. You meditate at night and you go in deep meditation to whereas you can visualize the insight, see to what your dream. You feel what I'm saying? But all you doing is meditate. And you wake up in you born again every day.
Okay.
Now, me, I feel as far as that predestination, I do believe we are predestined. I know God created this earth.
Mm-hmm.
I know He created this earth, and He's not gonna let nobody destroy His earth. That's why I ain't worrying about no nuclear and none of the old crazy stuff. Me personally, because He's not gonna let nobody destroy His earth. He don't make mistakes, and He created this earth for us to procreate and to cohabitate, and for it to be a beautiful paradise organization. And that's what's gonna happen. I believe that when I die, I'm not going to no heaven. I'm not going to no hell. I'm going 6 feet under the ground, and I will be there until the resurrection. The Bible tells me that when you die, you are conscious of nothing at all. And so, and the Spirit, God's Holy Spirit, is the active force, the breath of life. You know what I'm saying? Once that leaves your body, where it go, I don't even care, you know, because I'm not going to know anything about it. I just hope that I do the right thing in this lifetime, so I do have a hope of resurrection. You know, that's my belief. You know, but for real. And I, you know, like Jonah chapter 2, verse 2, it says, you know, when Jonah prayed to God, he said, please release me from the belly of hell. It's impossible to be a fiery burning place inside that big ass fish under all that water.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And in the Hebrew scriptures, hell is Sheol, and it means the common grave of mankind.
Mm-hmm.
And in Greek is Gehenna or Hades, and they all mean the same thing: the common grave of mankind. So I mean, you know, that I think it's a scare tactic for the churches. So you pay your tithes. You know what I'm saying? You don't pay your tithes, you going to hell. You do this, you go into that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If everybody, and then people say, "Oh, God took them home." If heaven was home, why the hell did He create earth?
Well, you know, that's good. You raising some lot of points. Now, I don't believe in the.
But I want to go back to the beginning of your statement, Mr. Sergio. When you said he.
Oh, I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
You feel what I'm saying? Because that's the only thing that I know that ever brought creation into this universe is a female. You feel what I'm saying? That's why this universe is called, I mean, they use Mother Nature, but they forget about her. You know what I'm saying? They don't give her props. She the creation of all things, Mother Nature. And y'all keep
but she
saying God.
She can't create nothing if I don't implant nothing in her.
Nah. But let me tell you something. There are female animals that doesn't need a male to make creation.
Yeah, but we talking about human life form.
Okay, stick with the human. But at the same time, it's still female. A man can't create a man, and man can be first. Somehow, a woman had to be first.
Right. Well, so what do you get this theory?
It's all in the laws of the universe. You have to have a female to bring creation into the universe, not create creation. I mean, bring creation into the universe, not create it.
Right. I feel you.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So my thing with that though is, you know, I want to ask you this first, and I'm gonna ask you something else. But the first thing I'm gonna ask you is, where do you get those lines of thinking? Because is it from the laws of Ma'at? Is what we're talking about ancient Kemet belief? I don't think if that's where it comes from.
I didn't. I mean, like, we could go there with it too, but that's just my common logic, just living. Like, everything I see pertaining to a female when it comes to life, a female is bringing this life into the, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But then, you know, you have the people that run around and say, well, God created everything and he. How you don't know God if it's a sheep? And then I could say it like this. All right, would you say or not, have you heard even once or twice in your life that everything we was taught backwards?
Mm-hmm. I heard it before.
All right, so why not, if we was taught backwards, here you is believing that a man did something when it really the woman did it.
Well, so my logic comes from being able to define things. Like, I've learned how to categorize and put labels on boxes, if that makes sense, right? So
Yeah.
if I have a question like that, I like to look into it so I can identify where it is, where it comes from. And this is what I learned, man. Some generalized like beliefs falls within two categories. The first one is a pantheist, right? And a pantheist, the meaning of it, if you break it down in its you know, etymologies, right? It's pan meaning all, theism, which means belief in God, right? So check this out. Pantheism is the view that everything is a part of an all-encompassing immanent God, meaning which means God is the universe and he is all things, literally, right? This falls along the lines of what you're saying right here. Check this out. All forms of reality may then be considered either modes, or meaning different types of that being, or identical with it. A prime example is what you're saying here, where people will misplace God with the woman or with man, for an example, right? Some hold that pantheism is a non-religious philosophical position. To them, pantheism is the view that the universe, in the sense of the totality of all existence, and God are identical, right? This term was key. This was coined back in 1697 by a guy named Joseph Rapson. And it also describes the beliefs of a variety of people and organizations. Even Albert Einstein believed in the same thing. So a lot of people, what they do is they'll look at signs of nature. They will look at signs of the universe. They will look at signs from anywhere and anything and say that's God. You see what I'm saying? We will put man in God's seat and we'll call man God. We put woman in God's seat and we'll call that God as well. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. So then you get people that are pantheists, right? This falls along the lines of how I believe it. So you got the pantheist that says that God is all things. You can find signs to everything in the universe, animals, everything, literally. A pantheist is, we'll say the universal spirit is present everywhere, same thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Time transcends all things created, right? Meaning it's greater than all things created, right? So there's an intelligent design that's behind the created thing. You see what I'm saying? So even in the laws of what a pantheist believe, all things are God. There's no created or an intelligent design, or creator or an intelligent design behind that mindset. So that mindset is limited. You see what I'm saying? So you'll notice the first group pictures, the first group in that picture believes that God and the universe are separate. This group, theism, this is something else. You got the Christian group, which is the more traditional group called theism. We talked about that. This was the tradition.
Right.
Yeah, they'll say God and the universe is separate, right? Then you got the pantheists will say that, you know, God and the universe are the same. Then you got the pantheists that will say God is greater than the universe, which means therefore God created the universe and all things thereof within the universe.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
So to me, that makes more sense.
Right, to me too.
If I can categorize it and define it and articulate it, then to me, that's my logic. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Okay, guys, listen here. We got We got exactly 10 minutes and 3 seconds left, and we're gonna have to wrap it up. So let's get back to the meat, because you know I'm a carnivore.
Okay.
All right. The research you did on Jay-Z and Beyonce, what did you find to be factual about their beliefs, Lemoi?
Man, like it's a whole lot. So so I realized that their whole objective is again going to the anti-theist thing, definition, where they try to challenge the idea of God. So their whole motive is to push people to believe that you don't need a God. Matter of fact, forget religion altogether. You know, and I agree with that in a certain degree, but not. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we still need a connection and understanding of the creator of life and the universe and all things within. You see
And we
what
need our breath. We need our breath.
we need our breath, right? Got to breathe, right?
Yeah.
The frequencies, right?
Right. Right.
Frequencies develop sound, sound develop matter. You see what I'm saying? So like
Right.
these things goes back to quantum physics, which is science. And I feel like there's a lot that he left out or he doesn't teach, even though he's giving good business ethics. But even in business ethics, you can't talk business principles or business ethics without talking about biblical principles, because that just boils down to being a good steward. You see what I mean? So everything that you learn about business is already laid out in the Bible. So
Didn't he say that God didn't help him do nothing? He did all that himself.
he did it all himself. Right. Right. And that's what I want to point out in this whole thing, with the whole detail of my idea of God, the science, and the universe that will bring all that together, you know, which means you got God, the creator of all things, right? I know we're about to close out, and I got one more thing to ask after this too.
No. Yeah, we got it. You got 8 minutes.
All right, cool. So we got God, the creator of all things, including the universe, right? The universe is the governing system for all men to follow. This is how I believe it, right? So everything that God is going to do, oh, he cut out. So everything that God is going to do, he's already done within the laws of the universe. We have to study the laws thereof to understand and catch up to God, which begs my question about predestination, is if it's real. Absolutely. But we didn't have time to go into that, which is fine. You know what I mean? So you got God, the creator of all things, God, the creator of the universe, right? The governing system. Then you got God, the creator of science, right? Which is the explanation of all things. So with science, again, going back to quantum physics, they're learning that the human gene, through the studies of the human genome, right? That through the study of the human genome, that they were able to question the existence of God, right? And then I had this example here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It's right here. I got it right here. Boom, 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 boom. So you're using quantum physics based on the study. Okay, so here's what where is it at? Okay, here's what the Britannica says about the human atom, because they're using science now to break down the human genes to figure out if there's an existence of God, and they're questioning that now. So this is check this out. So the Britannica looks at the human genome, and they look at the atom. We're talking about matter now, right? Quantum physics. So they're doing a study through quantum physics to break down the atom within a human being. And this is what the Britannica describes the atom as, right? Most of the atom is empty space. We cut out again. I had to keep going now. But most of the atom is empty space. The rest consists of a positively charged nucleus of protons and neurons surrounded by a cloud of negatively charged electrons, right? The nucleus is small and dense compared with the electrons, which are the lightest charged particles in nature. So what this means is that nothing within the human body is actually making contact, right? So check this out. So we're all made up of actual wavelengths, energy, or spirit. Right? Now, the Bible says this: let us make man in our image and after our likeness. And
I see where you're going. Yeah.
If we are made in his image, and science is breaking down the atom and saying, oh, well, looking how the atom is broken down, it says most of an atom is empty space. The rest consists of a positively charged nucleus of protons and neurons surrounded by a cloud of negatively charged electrons. Right? The nucleus is small and dense compared.
You just broke it down. You just broke it down. 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, 6 protons.
Right. But nothing is actually making contact is the point, though. right? So if that's the case, then we are actually made of spirit, or what they would say energy or wave, right? So check this out. Now, if that's the case, remember what the Bible says, let us make man in our image and after our likeness, right? So we know God isn't a physical being, right? We know the spirit of God isn't a physical thing either. So if we're made in the image and likeness of that, then we're actually not what they say, we are spiritual beings living a human experience, right? You've heard of that before. So, right, that's actually literal, and science can prove that now. You see what I'm saying?
Right, right, right.
Yeah. So this stuff. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
So yeah, so basically, you can go ahead and okay, so we know what their views are, and they're basing it on this science.
Law of universal law.
It's not them bucking against society
No.
or religion or anything. It's just they basing it on similar Scientology. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Laws.
So with we establishing why they believe the way they believe, how can you prove to me that we are predestined? We got enough time. We got 4 minutes and 40 seconds.
All right, cool. I got you right here. Right.
Yeah.
So
Now, before you do that, I say that we are predestined to live in a paradise organization when God does restore this earth back to a paradise organization. That's my belief. That's our destiny, to live here on earth in a paradise organization like he intended it to be in the Garden of Eden in Mesopotamia.
Right. All right. So check this out. So in order to go into predestination, I got to give you the definitions first. That's the background. All right.
Okay.
FLB wanted me to give them some details on that. So predestination, according to the Oxford Dictionary, it says this: as a doctrine of Christian theology, the divine foreordaining of all that will happen, right? Especially with regards to a salvation of some and not others. It has been particularly associated with the teachings of St. Augustine of Hippo and of Calvin. So Wikipedia says this, I like this one better. Predestination in Christian theology is a doctrine that all events have been willed by God, right? Meaning that God has always been in control, usually with reference to the eventual fate of an individual being or soul, right? So where am I at? So in the Christian worldview, a theist would use the word predestined, right? I got to jump around to shorten this up. So in the Christian worldview, a theist, a believer, would use the word predestined. A non-believer would use the word predeterminism, right? Same thing.
Same thing. Yeah, just worded different.
Right, just worded different. Same thing though. It's predeterminism, right? So if we look at the root of predeterminism, we had to look at the word determinism. Determinism is a philosophical view that all events are determined completely by previously existing causes, the law of cause and effect, right? So deterministic theories throughout the history of philosophy has sprung from diverse and sometimes overlapping motives and considerations. I mean, people take it and they flip it. The opposite of determinism is some kind of indeterminism, or otherwise called non-determinism, or an act of randomness, right? So this is what you were saying right here, bro. So check this out. The Big Bang Theory, for an example, that was a perfect example. But determinism is often contrasted with free will. So to a non-believer, they understand it differently and exclude God, take God out of it altogether, which is my alleged claim about Jay-Z. So determinism often is taken to mean as causal determinism, which means in physics is known as cause and effect. It is the concept that an event within a given paradigm are bound by causality in such a way that any state or of an object is completely determined by prior states. So let me dispute this. This is why I got to challenge it, right? Based on my facts alone, I've concluded that predestination supersedes the concept of determinism, which is the act of cause and effect. And it also supersedes indeterminism, which is the concept of randomness, for the following reasons. If determinism is an act of cause and effect, then why do we still put our trust in things like hope, chance, or fate, right? In the Christian worldview, we call it one thing: faith. See what I'm saying? So root cause for those other three. check this out. Some may say, well, why do we have to attribute that faith idea to the God of Christianity? Because it's Christian theology, right? So the other thing is, if indeterminism is an act of randomness, then why is there still order in that act of randomness, right? Why isn't it common that animals have 3 eyes and 2 tails, or a combination of human parts? You see what I'm saying? Yale University they're now using what's called fractal geometry as a new form of math that calculates patterns that's found in nature. You can see fractal geometry in things like pineapples. During the summertime, you look on top of trees, you see clusters of patterns that look exactly the same everywhere all over that tree. You see what I'm saying? You look at stuff like the grass, the blades of grass. There's patterns in all things.
They were designed to do to be like that. So that is predestined.
Exactly. That's my point.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that. But I mean, the word predestination really takes away the word luck, because if you win something, you wasn't luck, you was predestined to win it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if you got basically, I don't believe in luck anyway, because basically, if you go play the number and you win, you won because you played the number.
But
It wasn't got nothing to do with luck.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, you know what I'm saying? And if you put in the work, you ain't gotta worry about no luck. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Hey,
but I do now I can honestly say that I do believe in predestination to a further extent other than God's main intent for us. There are other destinies, you know, but I have always been asked, what's the difference between destiny and fate? You know?
Yeah.
And it's a thin line, and it's hard to describe.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
all
man.
Same umbrella though.
Yeah.
But can I ask Ethel a question real quick though before
Make this the last one, because you got for real. You got 2 minutes and 46 seconds.
All right, so Ethel, you said in the beginning that you can do everything that God does, right? So, you know, I thought that was an interesting statement, because the way I believe in God, God can create things on the spot. He has full control outside of the universe as far as lines of creation, right? I believe God can create things instantaneously out of thin air. Not saying black magic or none of that stuff, right? So I thought it was interesting. I thought I'd challenge you on that, right? Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right,
Don't worry about it.
All right, so I want to see if you were able to create a living, breathing, functioning heartbeat in the palm of your hands right now.
I can't do that.
You can't do that. All right, so check this out. Because the way that I understand God, I believe God can. You see what I'm saying? But I also do believe that we're lowercase g gods. You know what I mean? We're demigods. So we're actually lower than the creator. That's me reference. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So yes.
But you know what, man? I want to say this, because we are truly out of time right now.
Okay.
I was going to be funny and be like, I can't do it right at this moment, right? Let me go back. So I can't do it at this moment, but I have brought 7 children into this earth.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
7 kids being born out, and actually.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to go there? I'm gonna ask you this. Where you get that semen from?
Huh?
Where you get the semen from? No, better still, where you get the penis that had the semen from?
They wasn't my kids.
All right, we gonna end the show right there. Yo, this has been a major blast. So I'm trying to tell you, we had a stone gas. You already know. Look, man, I really want to thank you, FLB, for being on the show.
Thank you, sir.
Lemoi, you know I love you too, bro, and I appreciate you. So y'all stay tuned. Hey, B, tell them how they can get in contact with you.
You could get in contact with me on FLB on Facebook. That's EFELBEE. And Instagram is Disabled Studios _FLB. and that's THISABLE_FLB.
All right,
And
Lemoi.
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, the Lemoi Desina. My name is spelled out right there. I also go by Mr. Cool Spot. You can find the podcast, The Cool Spot, on YouTube and Facebook as well. Instagram, The Cool Spot NC_. And I'm on Twitter. I'm not that active though, but Facebook and Instagram for sure, and YouTube for sure. So
Straight like that. Appreciate you guys once again. I want to thank you for your appearance, and I want to thank our viewers for tuning in. And a big salute to my producer and publicist, Starman Films and Management Group, Sean Starks. Y'all make sure y'all tune in to Starman Global's channel on YouTube. Check us out every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Next week's topic is going to be really, really hot, for real. You know, we try to switch it up, try to keep it controversial. You know, something interesting in tutorials, something we could learn from everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's like a intellectual versus. You know, ain't nobody on stage spitting bars of ignorance. You know what I'm saying? We talking that intellectual stuff over here, knowledge. But anyway, y'all stay tuned. Appreciate y'all time and viewing. Until next time, bring your ass, and I guarantee the best of rest will follow.
like that.
all right.
Straight like that.